Beach State University. Hi again, everyone. Chris.
A 13th consecutive game as we get underway. Missouri controls the opening tip. The Mizzou basketball tip-off brought to you by...
We've seen many defenses try to guard and stop Clarkson. They've been double teaming and doing some different things. That frees up other guys. Jabari. But after today, it gets going. The meat starts. SEC kicks off home opener against Georgia on Wednesday. Got to get to Lamb. He likes to shoot. He took 25 shots in their last ball game. Only made 5, but he's not afraid to shoot.
Ernest Ross.
Talked about shoot around today. They knew how good Long Beach State was and could be. Good help, good hedge.
Good defensive help around that Rossberg screen. Now this is Clarkson floating one up and in from the right baseline.
Good matchup.
Inside Rossberg with the left hand.
So Ernest Ross came down, and really it's 5-on-4. Those are still a mismatch of numbers. You always want to survey and see what you...
Ernest Ross across for Brown. Jabari right around Michaela Sal, and what a move that was.
Well, he's a jump shooter. When you're home and you're not running, it keeps the crowd kind of in their seats. This guy can make people stand up, though.
Just mentioned, pretty good, 42%.
That's what Jabari does best. Obviously, he's known as a shooter. And free throw.
Clarkson nets the free throw to the line.
Impressive.
Here comes Ernest. Ernest Ross all the way.
Well, one of the first, the steal.
The lefty hoists another, and that one is good. Ross,
wow,
look at that assist to Rossberg.
What a pass.
Clarkson hits.
Beautiful move. They force him to go.
After hitting 4 of its first 6.
Defender's going to make Clarkson go left. He's really good going right. He goes left, and the step back at his size frees himself up. You're not going to get to the shot. He elevates high on his jump shot. Perfect that time. But if you're a defensive...
And Clarkson comes up with it. Ernest Ross on the drive. All the way. He got it.
I'd put...
Nothing like it, right? As a road player, hearing the home team's audience go silent. Williams, nothing but net. Your original starting 5 on the floor. Clarkson, Brown, Ross, Williams, who scores there, and Rossberg.
I expect him maybe to look a little more offensive for himself.
Brown, strong baseline drive, and that will count for Jabari.
Comes out and be aggressive, attack, and make a deep...
And an 11th point for Jabari Brown as Missouri's lead is... Yes, thank you. Good to be back. What a fun Tiger weekend, and we'll sleep well tonight, I think. I can predict for myself as you see the... Look at this. What a remarkable run for the Missouri Tigers. How proud Mike Alden, the athletic director, is of these teams.
Women, they're off to a great start. Football all done, volleyball done. They were disappointed on that one loss to end their season in the NCAA.
Well, what a year. Clarkson, a screen from Rossberg. Jordan's jumper, perfect. And Missouri up 3. Caffey tried to get it to his teammate. Ross makes the steal, and that's the end of the first half. Missouri leading Long Beach State 37-34. And John Sunvold now is joined. Wins. Tigers, of course, for the season have won 11 of 12. Brown misses, but Rossberg inside, good position for the offensive putback. 4 stuffed pizza rollers. Pizza Hut, make it great. Here's a great play for Missouri. Jabari Brown. Clarkson on the way. What a move. Jordan Clarkson into traffic. Now out to Brown. Jabari on the move. Left-handed layup is good.
3 layups.
Shot clock at 5. Brown for Criswell. Now Ross. Yes!
Well, what looked like a struggle to get one off was...
It's a 12-point Tiger advantage with help from Jabari Brown and Ernest Ross. sophomore from Chesterfield, Missouri. John, what do you like about his game?
Well, tonight it's perfect. 3 of 3 from the field. 4 offensive rebounds, 4 defensive rebounds. So he's got 8 rebounds off 6 points. Unsung hero, does all the dirty work, does the things. He's not the focal point on the offensive end. But the more he plays, the more teams are going to say, hey, would you just block out number 44, put a body on him.
Football referees were busy last night in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl. That may still be going on.
They still playing? They left Clark wide open. He usually makes you pay. What a rebound.
Ross strong. Up high for the strong rebound, and that will be goaltending. Score the basket for Ernest Ross.
Everything was kind of a jump shot. This year it's to the rim, going to the free throw line.
Insurance agent, or find us on the web at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Contact. Smart play.
Jabari Brown. That was pretty, wasn't it?
One bounce, go the other way. Really nice. Missouri weight program.
John, it's time for our delivery of the game, delivered to you. Criswell got them both. What an improved free throw shooter. Clarkson from the left side floats it up and in with the right hand.
Mismatch. He had
4 with 2.5 minutes to go. Tigers got an offensive rebound off a miss, and there's no missing that time from Jabari.
5% from the field goals, 56 three-point line, and 77 from the free throw line. So down the stretch, they've been very good. Year versus the best of the next. I think Lamb's 1 year older, ranked number 1 as shooting guard out of California.
Just going to say, both started out at Pac-12 schools. Lamb at UCLA and Brown at Oregon.
Nice to have if you're Frank Hayes.
Yeah, maybe might be the way to say it. And he's been good at the line late. 10-point one here over Long Beach State today.
Well, 12-1, good start. Almost perfect. So now you have the SEC play. Should be fun. It'll be a great night on Wednesday against Georgia.
69-59. Missouri prevails over Long Beach State. Tigers only lost this season by 1 to Illinois a couple weeks ago in St. Louis. Our play of the game now is ready for you folks. Our Rally House play of the game. Here it is. Jabari Brown with that big 3-point basket. The last Tiger field goal to stretch that late lead out. Clarkson the assist. Brown the basket. Jabari had a team-high 22 points. That's our Rally House play of the game. And we thank you, by the way, for sending in your text for the Rally House play of the game. That was thank you.
Season number 21, Missouri against Auburn. Welcome everybody courtside. Tom Hart alongside and rebounder under Tony Barbee a couple of years ago. It's a homecoming for him.
Yeah, he's back. He hopes he's not too excited to play, but remember a year ago, season high, 23 against Auburn. We'll see how he does. Clarkson and Brown, they have size, they have speed, and they are very accurate from the perimeter. They will shoot at 37 points a game between the two, but let's move up a notch.
As he gets adjusted in his second season in the SEC.
Tom, we know it's a guard matchup.
Auburn only shoots 31% from deep. Here's Ross, the Auburn transfer, who takes it coast to coast.
Talk to him.
0 for 3 start. Only 4 field goal attempts here in the first couple of minutes. Ross from the inside got a hack and the flush.
And as the loose ball comes back to this Missouri team, Brown's eyes are up when he gets to the lane. Good finish, slap in the head. A good pass.
Brown on the run. And it's Missouri. Ernest Ross drains his first triple of the game. He hit 5 threes against Auburn last year.
A bit. He has the ability to make long shots. He's powerful, he's strong, has big shoulders, can rebound, can take it to the rim. Back to the rim, and that time Ross, you could tell he was determined to go into it. Very fortunate officials as they're trying to tone Ross down a tad, but you have the student body kind of.
So Jordan Clarkson has another free throw coming his way. That's a rare. 2 from the line, but still looking for his first.
Let's take a look at his technique. Jabari Brown has established himself as one of the great shooters in college basketball. You cannot give a shooter space. His footwork is good, his balance is good, his release is high and on target. And when you give Jabari Brown space, He is stepping into the ball, footwork great, balance is good. He's a guy that has been able to establish himself as a clutch shooter and make big baskets down the stretch for Frank Haith's ball club.
Goes to the free throw line. He's fourth in the SEC in three-point percentage. He's only returned one starter. It's the level of turnover really for both squads. Missed a three already. Passed up a quick look there. Steps through the D and finally hits his first from the floor.
Footwork. Saved the ball the one time that allowed them to score. Called on for minutes this afternoon.
Missouri came into this game leading the SEC in free throw shooting at 71%.
That may be normal. And he has made some.
Is without the suspended Chris Griffin. Alan Payne has been battling a hamstring injury, and their other big freshman from Chandler, Arizona. He hits a first of two.
A little raw in talent so far in basketball, but they love what he can do, and he had minutes against Georgia.
And one big. Clarkson off the glass. Great look.
Tough to keep. What was interesting about that right there, when you see him put it on the floor, Chris allowed that ball to go in the paint to see if they can be beaten. They've just had too many personal fouls.
Clark coming the other way. No look. Post reverses it in.
Surprising call.
And so Shane Rector, freshman from
good minutes so far this season. Coaching staff of Missouri has confidence in him to run the show. He's quick with the ball. Ball at some point.
Brown, deep three, nothing but net for Jabari Brown. Auburn's got a chance. One last shot. Shamsuddin off the glass. Too strong. Well, once we got out of the mud, it turned into an entertaining half. Missouri closes on an 8. Minutes. Number 21 Missouri leads Auburn by 3. And
don't like offense. I mean, there was some scrappiness. Jabari Brown, though, ended the first half. It was tied at 30, and the guy we featured as a shooter delivered for us and put it right on the money. Here stayed in. Harold at 6'4", 6'3".
Well, they go to the freshman. Gave up on one end, got it back on the other. Playing at Tulsa before transferring to Missouri. Talked to Frank Haith yesterday about he was converted from a two-guard, shooting guard to the point.
And Frank Haith.
I'm scratching my head on a 12-2 team that has more turnovers than assists on the season. And again in the first half.
Typically shooting, though, 2 of 7 this half. That's the one guy that can get it going.
Offensive follow, and it's off the glass. The second good. 3-point Missouri lead.
The game, I'm not sure they can afford really to take him out.
And just to clarify, the officials are doing their job.
To say we're going to defend. We came in, we started this.
Harrell transition 3. Got it! KT Harrell has 20. Auburn's got. That certainly helped with the branding, didn't it?
When they brought the ball down the floor.
Ross at the elbow finds Rosberg. An extra pass for Brown.
Good sharing of the basketball. First a ball not handled cleanly. Wes Clark didn't get the shot.
Clarkson with the leaner.
What a tough hoop.
Only made 2 of the last 14 attempts from the floor to end the first half. Rosberg power move and gives it up again. He's been unselfish inside to find Ross. Third in the league at 82% from the line. Coming to Missouri from Dana Altman's Oregon program. So fall to 0-2. If your goal is, as you said, to start the broadcast a conference title.
Yeah, Missouri can't afford that. You're right. They put Clarkson on the box. Got big size advantage. Good help.
Good move by Jordan Clarkson. Is it just me, or you get 7.5? Clarkson on the run. And 1! And that's number 4 on Dixon Tatum. It's become that
when he turns the corner going to his right, able to draw contact, the ability to finish, and to get to that free throw line and to convert to three-point play.
20 now for Clarkson. He only
Tatum out, 4 personal fouls. They've become even a smaller lineup, and Jabari Brown will deliver from the corner.
15 for Brown. Ernest Ross, if you're late to this broadcast, has played his first 2 seasons here at Auburn. Rebounded in 2011. And he's 2 for 2 from the line now. Denson. Goaltending. Double figures finally for Chris.
A 74% free throw shooter.
And perfect today, 5. Apparently, Harrell's been the answer. This one's short. He had 3 black jerseys in front of him. Well, Shamsuddin may be the second most confident offensive player on the floor right now. Denson, his floater off the rim twice.
We've already talked about Ross strong enough and tough enough to go in, kind of take contact and live with it. Perfect from the line this afternoon, 6 for 6. He has
from 15 feet. Still a 1-possession game.
Opportunity. I would shoot it really high.
Missed it. Missouri fights over and a foul. No, he stepped on the inline. Torrin Jones stepped on the inline with 3 seconds to go. And Auburn's going to
intentionally try to miss this. The ball comes off. He did step right out of bounds. Toe. Switching by Missouri. Someone's got to step in, maybe have a bucket. Something might be at the rim.
Clark tipped it away. Brown with the takeaway. And Missouri will survive, though Auburn thought that he stepped out of bounds again. The officials are talking and they say, forget it, we're done. And they walk off the floor. It started with a tip from Clark.
I'm more surprised that no one cuts to the basket. They're only down 2, and it's as though they're playing. Look at the rim. So the clock's already started.
Like it could have been a travel as well.
Yeah, that's a travel. There was 9 seconds?
Yeah, and it's a travel with 1 second left. Jabari Brown just walked off with it. And Missouri escapes with a 70-68 final, leaving with the victory to go to 1-1 in conference play. Now we take it to Starkville, Mississippi. For more SEC basketball, it's Ole Miss in Mississippi State.
Fortress of strength and victories for the home side, but they had their 26-game home court winning streak snapped. Last game out looking and poised to build another winning streak.
Very mature statement by Jordan Clarkson in terms of having the pulse of his team. You cannot allow Vanderbilt to beat you. They really scheduled up and scheduled hard. The problem with Alabama, they didn't win any of those ball games.
And Jabari Brown with that feathery touch knocks down the first someone other than Clarkson, Ross, and Brown today. And there's Clarkson down on the block.
Well, I thought that would come early. Jordan Clarkson, they have to start scoring around the rim with their bigs.
Rosberg on the drive. There's a big scoring around the rim for you. Sure. I think Obasan might have gotten a hand on that. Clarkson back in a rush the other way.
And Clarkson can put it right back on you.
No reset on the shot clock. It's at 8. Brown firing from downtown. And he knocks the game at 12. Jabari Brown. The second foul against Jordan Clarkson.
Well, the question is, does number 32 have legal guarding position established? No, he does not, but he is entitled to his space on the floor. And he has his space on the floor, and then Jordan Clarkson, boom, goes right into him. You know what? 90% of the time in last year's NCAA tournament, if you go back and grade all the
losing effort in Nashville.
Jabari Brown he's a quiet, tough guy. On the bench, has to be amped up. A couple of turns offensively, you have to get on that left shoulder.
Knocks down. They lead by 1.
Yeah, good job by Hale.
Brown with a little quick get back and a 3-ball.
They had a little coolness about him, and Frank Haith talked about it when conference play began. You cannot be cool.
Guys. Griswold has had a pretty turbulent year. Off the block, here come the Tigers. Relaford is checked back into the ball game with about 7.5 to go here in the first half for Alabama. Nice looking jump hook bucket there by Jonathan Williams.
He's only taken 13 free throw attempts. That is not the right ratio for this cat. He's a 30% three-point shooter. He went 0 for 5
on Watch ESPN.
Outstanding guard play in that ball game. UConn's bigs are starting to play better. Doug McDermott's going to be the Wooden Award National Player of the Year unless he just gives the trophy back up to somebody else right now. Guard the ball, you contest shots, and you rebound the ball. You're going to win a lot of ball games. And again, they allow Williams to go to his left. You absolutely
fouls and sitting most of the first half.
Well, the importance of Jordan Clarkson. He gets up a team high 14 shots a game.
The math. Griswold looking inside for Williams. Wheeling on the block. Over the top of Taylor that time, knocking it down from close range.
I like it. That's the one guy I would worry about.
Relaford pressing up on him. Wild shot tipped up, no good. Tipped up a second time, no good. Clark got another chance. 3 for a quarter. Missing again. 4 missed shots in the paint by Missouri to punctuate the first half. But still, they come away with the lead after the first 20 minutes of play for the Land Rover halftime report.
We're hosting Tennessee in the SEC. Coach Martin looking good in orange. You still good.
Clarkson back on the floor. They'll do a lot of on-ball screening for him, Missouri will. If you're Alabama, go under every ball screen. He's made 1 out of his last 3.
You know, Clarkson kind of went under the high ball screen by Rosberg. Clarkson with a reverse, and boy, Jordan Clarkson looking aggressive here offensively to begin the second half. Too late. Brown in transition. Jabari Brown with the reverse.
He is explosive now. He's a 3-point kid as well.
Yeah, 6'5". That foul on Abasahan. And Jabari Brown at the free throw line.
Talked about his stroke in the first half, how we're going to break it down. He's just so dialed in, has pretty good lift. A little bit of a lean back, even on his feet. Only has 1 shoe on.
Nice look inside. Griswold missed it. Another missed one from point-blank range. Got the second one to fall.
You love us.
Knows all about toughness. Grew up part of a military family. His parents both in the Navy. He was actually born in.
Well, he's a key guy going forward for Missouri because we talked about their lack of inside production. This is a guy that you can end. What you think the kid can handle?
Brown on the drive.
Whoa.
What a reverse layup.
How good was that against the 1-1-3s? Brown, he trusts the offense, the reversing the basketball. And Randolph just crowds him. He completely crowded him and said, go ahead and beat me baseline. And then the last step just avoids Jacobs. Jabari Brown is a 3-point.
Clarkson on the move. Got it. Jordan Clarkson making up for lost time in the first half.
See what Rosberg did? He trailed the play. It's kind of an NBA influence where they set a ball screen in their transition game for Clarkson. They are so...
Right, Jimmy, is that it?
Yes.
I've seen those tapes and DVDs. Here's Clarkson. Missed the dunk and crashes to the court on the foul by Obasahan. And went for the block. Actually got ball on it. They're playing hard out here.
Control. Anthony Grant got his guys under control. It was a little more confusion than there should have been. But at the end of the day, it's a personal foul. And here,
Fred Van Velde has been on fire lately for Wichita State.
Yeah, Van Vliet, the point guard. Yeah, he's played as well as any point guard. Kind of a C.J. Fair type guy. Ron Baker's toughness and everything he does for the club. Van Vliet, a dynamite point guard. Indiana State is unbeaten. Broadcast. I watch a lot of it. Was Jeff Van Gundy questioning how the Twins were separated at birth.
Rosberg sets that screen for him. Williams with a nice move inside. So after some earlier misses at
They're inside guys. Williams, Rosberg, Criswell. Somebody step up and help those three.
Look at the genesis of Mizzou Arena. That's what it looks like now. Opened in 2004. And interesting when you look at the engineering specifics of this place. A 26-degree slope on one end and 18 on the other, Jimmy.
Well, the student section sits in the 26-degree slope to make it even that much more intimidating. And there it is to our left, and it is an intimidating force. Now, it's not full today because classes don't start, I think, until Tuesday, but a very well thought out, well designed, they stay with that, and they run in transition. They're a good team.
Brown with a strong move. Boy, that's some bully ball, right?
6'5", and when he decides to go, this time it's 3 bounces, but he's very good. He doesn't
Recent kid Gary Payton recently inducted into Oregon State's Basketball Hall of Fame. There's a great
team right now, the Cal Golden Bears, that I think we have to all get our eyes on. They have size.
Sending Clarkson to the foul line. Really found his stride.
In the floor.
Under 4 minutes to go. Mark Jones courtside along with Jimmy Dykes. As Missouri looking for its 14th win of the season against 3 losses. And Ernest Rupp.
Kidding me? 3 out of 17. All 3 made baskets by Rutherford. No offense by Alabama.
That's to your point, and there's Clarkson with an unabated. On top here on the move. Off glass and good.
How fast he is, Mark. Watch the boom. When he decides to go, he's got a really fast, long scoring step. He scored about
Guys missed his first free throw in 25 attempts. Not the type of.
Missouri covered him up on one end of the floor, and you know what? They made Rutherford play defense on the other end of the floor. It's exactly what you have there with Kentucky and Florida. They had to win this game. There's no way they could drop their first 2 games at home and factor in to what.
Cooked, glazed, and ready to be sliced. 68-47 victory for Missouri. Final thoughts, Jimmy, on what you'll take away from today.
Well, Missouri played like they should be playing. Together defensively, ran the ball in transition, and they were dialed in their commitment level to Trevor Rutherford. A complete ball game by the Missouri Tigers.
They believe in a 2-2 in conference play and 14-3 overall moving forward. Nice to be back home sometimes and get that W. 68-47 the final score. For Jimmy Dykes and our entire talented crew behind the camera you never get a chance to see. Going to say so long from Columbia, Missouri. Right now we send you to Todd.
Get that ball in the paint. Inbound pass, and there is Williams, the lefty, dropping the bucket. And Missouri quickly has a 7-0 lead.
Up a lot of free throw shots. A lot of fouls, a lot of free throws. That makes them a poor defensive team.
Jabari Brown might be the best pure shooter in the Southeastern Conference.
Defense.
Tigers on the run out. Brown hacked and fouled. He'll go to the line for a chance for 3 the hard way.
A teammate.
Brown on the breakaway to Ross, who lays it in. Open 3. Got it. Wes Clark, the freshman, by way of Detroit, Michigan. Carrera. The Bearcats just can't buy anything other than shots from Thornwell and Williams. And then Ross draws the foul, count the basket.
Much more efficient offensively against South Carolina's man defense.
Clarkson tapped out and a fresh 35. Won't need it. Open 3 is good for Clarkson.
Great job by Rosberg tapping it back out, and Clarkson getting the payoff. Zone defense, the Gamecocks need to do something to create some movement offensively.
Got to get a hand in that man's face. Jabari Brown, and a quick timeout called by Frank Martin.
Clarkson really is. He's listed 6'5", and he is all that. He said he's probably more like 6'6".
Jabari Brown, who goes 6'5" with the blow-by.
Yes, he does. Nice looking shot there, Brenton Williams, and Mizzou still only a 12-point ball game.
That'll be 14 now with a chance at 15. Williams on the foul, and another strong take by Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson behind the back pass, and a thunder dunk by Rosberg. Wow.
No.
3-on-1. And a timeout called by Frank Martin, who's saying, why is everybody not getting back on defense? Missouri on offense, hitting everything.
Where Arkansas has won 25 of its last 26 games. Ready for another edition of this growing rivalry with Missouri.
Welcome to Soup. Get to Jabari Brown. I think he's probably playing the best ball of anybody in the SEC the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's shooting an extremely high percentage from the three-point line. And this is a guy that's now shooting threes. He's driving to the rim. He's making plays not only for himself around the rim, but plays for others. He had 6 assists in their game Saturday.
5-4 in its last 9 after a 10-0 start. Arkansas won 7 straight to finish non-conference play 11-2. Now 2-4 in the SEC. 50th career win Saturday.
When you threaten the paint off the bounce against Arkansas, they will attack the basketball and their bigs will step up.
Only Kentucky shoots more free throws than Missouri. About 27 a game. Williams, the freshman. Clark saved it under his own basket, leading to Rosberg slam.
The ball after any make or any miss. And this time just a hustle play saved by Clark. It ends up in the paws of Rosberg.
Second in the SEC, holding opponents under a 40% clip. Williams down the lane. Freshman against freshman on the second try with a bucket and a chance for a 3-point.
That's where it starts. If you can't guard the basketball, then Arkansas starts rotating over and takes himself out of defense a top 10 team. When you play Arkansas here, you must compete your guts out for 2 full hours.
Rosberg with it. Clarkson goes by goalie and banks it in. SEC's third leading scorer with his first 2.
They've had good floor space. Again, the bigs step up and get attracted to the basketball.
Off of the pick and roll, Clarkson pops and knocks it down.
He looks really comfortable on the road, does Jordan Clarkson.
Clarkson now with Kingsley in a mismatch. Spinning through the lane with the left hand, able to finish. Jordan Clarkson for 2 more.
Can't guard Clarkson so far
in a row. And snaps that screen. Well, it's good defense early. Now against Qualls, takes it inside and beats Kingsley for 2 more.
Arkansas wants to play fast, but they're playing too fast. They are dynamite because of the 3 big guards can all get to the rim and finish through contact, just like Ernest Ross did.
It's been a rebound.
Arkansas cannot be offensive sensitive right now. Their offense isn't flowing. They better continue to defend, and that is not.
Here's Clark, who's only got 12 points in 6 SEC games. Wes Clark, nice crossover, and back-to-back buckets for Clark.
Missouri's ball.
Here's Brown. That's a 3. It's good.
You know, you can't give him daylight. He's 6. And the back line of that zone will interchange, and it's moving parts.
Clarkson from way downtown, leading the way for Missouri with 9. Brown, the only starter back from last season. Oregon transfer became out.
This guy last year, he was a 40% field goal guy and 36 from 3. He's now 50% from the field.
Madden dribbled it off his foot. Here comes Missouri with numbers. Brown back to Ross.
And they are lethal. Well, again, Arkansas loose to the basketball. Madden drives it in the first gap. And the active hands of Missouri frees up Ross at the other end. Foul, but he doesn't take away their confidence and their freedom to make plays. And Michael Qualls is feeding off of that right now.
Rosberg with the offensive rebound and a putback. 6 first-half points for Ryan. Missouri, the top free throw shooting team in the SEC in this first half, is just 6 of 11. Right now, into Clarkson, who gets doubled. Rosberg has to launch off the front of the rim to bring this first half to a close with an 11-3. Arkansas run to draw to within 2. Now Brown very quiet in that first half. The SEC's leading scorer limited to just 5. Madden was 7 for Arkansas. Let's have highlights. He's one of your favorite backcourt players in this league.
Well, he really is, because now he's popping it from 3, and he's doing a good job of reading the switching on-ball defense of Arkansas, getting a mismatch and attacking well. So what will Arkansas...
Here's Ross sweeping inside and into double figures now with 10.
Well, they can get it on in a hurry.
Williams with the rebound. Brown for three. He got it.
Frank told his guys today at 11 o'clock, this is going to be a man versus man game. Missouri just kind of going to have to handle that last 90 seconds and get back to playing the rhythm that they want to play.
Missouri's never won in this building in single time this year. All 4 fouls in this half have gone on Arkansas. On the SEC's leading scorer. Been in double figures all 20 games now. Now Ross much bigger than Haidar. Able to roll it in. Ernest Ross into double figures. Those big knock down to 5 and Clarkson with a kick. Ross with a 3.
Boy, the
scores with 15.
Well, he hasn't made 3s so far in this ball game. He's only 26% in conference play, but well, that time is.
Brown for 3. Back-to-back triples for Missouri to extend the lead back to 7.
And Jordan Clarkson is very patient up top. You see Qualls tries to cheat to play and go over the top. You try to cheat on Jabari Brown. Here's the result. Splash.
Missouri. Here comes Brown around a screen for 3. His second in a row.
How good is he? How good? Basket by Brown. First of all, look at the pass. Again, delivered by Clarkson on time and on target. Watch. Bam. At the waist, right below the numbers, into the shot pocket, up and in. The defense in this part of the country, people take off work.
How about Ernest Ross in this second half, Jimmy? That's for Ross. 9 in the first, 12 plus of the second. The job done once again. Ernest Ross going to the line for a 1-and-1. A game-high 18 for Ernest Ross tonight. Starting the show for Missouri. As the Tigers back in front 2. Qualls for the lead. Got it! Brown maybe got away with a travel. Instead puts Missouri back in front inside of 3 minutes.
Boom. The kind you have to have.
Missouri's dominated the glass the whole game. Brown in the middle of the zone, wide open. SEC's leading score with nobody within 15 feet of it.
No awareness at all.
1-on-1 about Jabari Brown and Madden, and both have played well.
Well, they've started to deliver. Just a matter of time before Jabari Brown was going to shake loose and start knocking down shots. He's really moved well in their man-to-man offense. When Arkansas has gone man-to-man defense, that's when he's gotten loose. And well, you talk about sliding inside of the zone.
Clarkson. Ross for 3. In the lead.
The late find by Jordan Clarkson. Bench. Clarkson drove the ball and found Ross up top. And Ernest Ross, he's had a pretty good blend of driving the ball, using his big body, and not settling for 3s. Now he's taken 5 or 6 in this game. I think he just made his second 3 in this ball game out of 6. But that's the last play right there. Bobby Portis did a good job of being a wall defender on Clarkson, protecting the rim, and a late emergency.
Madden with the defender falling. Unable to hit. And Clark tips it out of bounds. Gets the roll for his 7th make in his minute.
Doesn't have a lot of wasted time or motion in his shot.
Makes both. He's made all 8 tonight. Missouri leads by. Williams not a good free throw shooter, but makes the first.
But that was a big one. This would be huge to make it a 3-possession game, and it is.
Missouri's made all 12 free throws here in the second half.
NC State lost a neutral court game to Illinois, but in conference play, their losses have been by 6 points, a 3-point loss, and an overtime loss. This is a really good ball club that, well, they came into Arkansas, and we said in the opening, I thought the pressure was on Arkansas tonight. They can't afford to lose at home. And they're 20.3 seconds away from doing it.
It'll be Mike Anderson's 6th loss at home.
This team coming in, I've been around them now 3 or 4 times. They have a maturity about them, a very quiet toughness about them.
7 games. Madden a step back to finish it off. Missouri comes on the road and gets a big win here at Arkansas. For Jimmy Dykes and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying good night from Fayetteville. Now we send it to South Bend. First meeting since 1992 between Virginia and Notre Dame.
Missouri head coach Frank Haith says his team and his fans have waited for this kind of opportunity for quite some time. This afternoon, the number 11 team in the country, the Kentucky Wildcats, come calling on the Mizzou Arena. Why is this a big ball? Defend today for Missouri is Jabari Brown. He is an outstanding scorer.
One of the very best in all of college basketball. Take a look at these numbers in January, Tom. He has absolutely been scintillating. He's an 87% free throw shooter as well, so he gets his points in a lot of different ways.
All right, AT&T fast analysis.
50% of their points from the backcourt. Jabari Brown, we just showed you, but Jordan Clarkson, Ernest Ross, all three of these guys make plays and make shots and get to the free throw line.
Aaron Harrison and Andrew Harrison, they're going to be tested today with those guards. The front court for Missouri will be tested as well. Ryan Rosberg and the freshman Jonathan Williams, and we said it's a three-headed monster. All three of these guards are outstanding. Frank Haith says there's a comfort zone having.
And Clarkson.
Mike Nance is the referee today. He'll throw it up, and Missouri will control the tip. And hats off to this crowd that's settling in because there was a heck of an ice storm here. He stumbled a little bit there trying to finish.
Numbers this way now.
And Brown with the reverse layup, and he gets the roll, and Missouri strikes first.
At both ends of the floor, and that's exactly what John Calipari told us he wanted to see from his team to start the game.
Scores table. Here's Ernest Ross, an 82% free throw shooter. And he makes the Clarkson and Jabari Brown, but look at those numbers.
Yeah, he's been extremely impressive as well. And he's more of a wing than a true guard because he can hurt you inside and on the glass. So often played.
Here's Clarkson for three. Open for a moment, and he nails it. About teammates helping other teammates. That sort of idea of driving.
Basketball player, and with a group of young guys who have always been the head dog or the top dog, that's usually. So foul trouble could be problematic for that.
For Cauley Stein. And Brown had made the first free throw. On the line for his second. He makes both. Here's Brown for three. It's good. When not only can you get to the rim, but also find somebody open for three.
Start your team with a number of different ways, and one of them is some full court pressure, even though that was very much token in its approach.
Here's Brown along the baseline, and a lot of contact, nothing called, and it's going to be Kentucky ball. Frank Haith is probably all for letting them play, but there was a little bit of contact along the baseline.
Well, let's see if, in fact, Julius Randle practiced the law of verticality. All contact doesn't mean a foul occurred.
Frank Haith still not pleased about that last possession for his team offensively.
Fortunate that it wasn't more than that. Good job by the officials to give Frank a little latitude there.
Players with 2 fouls in this half. Kentucky has 2 big men with 2 fouls, and now Ross with 2. And a technical foul has been called on Frank Haith.
Well, so much for the latitude. I think he just exceeded it. That have shown up at Kentucky.
Well, as Brown goes to the free throw line, makes the first, he's going to have to deal with Kentucky. Sometimes those 2 big men with their foul trouble for Kentucky.
It really is, because you lose.
He hasn't really gotten going offensively, but that's part of Missouri's game. He doesn't always need to. How about that?
Huge part of what Missouri likes to do offensively with these playmaking and shot-making guards. Mismatch here. Poythress has to respect the ability of Clarkson to drive. He gives him a little too much cushion, and Clark
the game for the Tigers. Here's Criswell. fadeaway jumper is no good as it rolled in and out. As Clark to the free throw line, he's left open, and he gets his first bucket. Good recognition on his part.
You got to shoot that.
The college game for somebody like Wes Clark coming from Romulus. He's seeing this arena for the first time, and all of the success that Missouri's had under Frank Haith and even overall at Mizzou Arena. 147-23.
Yeah, good home court advantage here.
Clarkson makes the first. But I asked Frank Haith thrive, Missouri that is, against a young Kentucky team that's struggling. Has been more of a facilitator for most of today, but now he's kind of finding a little rhythm, shooting the ball from not only beyond the arc, but also near the paint. So it's back to a two-point game. Wes Clark in some traffic, lets it go.
Well, they need his point.
Yeah, Criswell, that's a tough shot. Well, he had a lot of arc on that shot.
Kentucky doing more of them at the offensive end than Missouri is at its offensive end. Another turnover, too.
Well, great defense by Kentucky, and Harrison goes the length of the floor to finish that one for the Wildcats. Here's Brown off the screen. He has a little bit of an opening. It's a two-point field goal. Methodically been able to increase their margin. Clarkson with a pretty offensive move. And he makes the first.
Half for John Calipari's team. Both ends of the floor. Missouri going to have to regroup and figure out a way to take better care of the ball and try to get more opportunities in the open court.
Well, the clock will wind down to finish up the first half with Kentucky on top 42-32. So Kentucky has a 10-point lead going into the half. Now let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York. We just saw that stat that popped up. Rosberg has the first front point points for Missouri. Ross with the rebound again.
Can Missouri get some of this type of action going?
And Brown does the three. John
Love this for Missouri. Defense leading to offense in transition, and when Brown's open.
Lead 46-37. Here's Young for three. It's good.
A switch, tough matchup here for Poitras.
And Clarkson trying to capitalize, and he does.
Took advantage of the switch there.
Young's had the hot hand, and he continues to smoke it from the outside.
How about the play by Randall, Tom?
Yep. Not
forcing it, being content to give it up, and that time Kentucky went to sleep.
Missouri 43-2 under Frank Haith here at the Mizzou Arena. As Clarkson, they were trying to fly into Columbia. The runway was all iced over, so then they had to go to St. Louis. The buses last night then had to go from Columbia to St. Louis to pick them up, and like a gimme.
Well, good penetration here by Ross on the second opportunity, a nice feed. And I just think Rosberg missed it. I don't know if...
He will inbound along the baseline. Ross open for three.
And play with energy and focus. Uh-oh, transition opportunity.
Wes Clark peeled it away and gets the roll.
Shakes free on the baseline, out of bounds play. Splash. Then in transition, Wes Clark, 1-on-2, no problem. So 10-point range. Be sure with your passes and aggressive with your moves.
And that's exactly what Dakari Johnson was as he went against Rosberg.
A teammate and recognizing how to blend in and fit in and still do the things that you can shots every time down if you're Missouri.
And Brown with the floater, and it's good.
To play on, but Wes Clark in the middle of it now.
Poetic justice. He leaves it for Clarkson.
To get the game played more in the open court, and it starts with active defense, Tom, because you force turnovers or you force misses, then you can run big-time shot here by Aaron Harrison. And sometimes
Brown, meanwhile, goes to the line. He has 19.
Well, this kid has been so efficient Jabari Brown, 54% from the floor, 53 from three.
And that's made it a 7-point game. Brown got everybody off their feet. Continuation.
Frank Haith said one of the reasons that Jabari Brown has improved so much is his patience and his ability to just let the game and shot opportunities come to him. Beautiful example of that here. Jump stop, show him the ball, Paratroopers Club, hoop, and one. It hasn't taken long for Missouri to come all the way back from, what was it, 17?
It's amazing how quickly they were able to come back.
And that does not bode well for the...
Under 10. Here's Young for three. Good! He's not a three-point shooter, though. He thought better of the three. And what a finish by Jabari Brown.
How about the split of the...
Live and kicking. Back and forth we go offensively. Randall with great recognition, and Young has had the hot hand for the Wildcats. But there's been an answer for the Tigers in this half, and the answer is Jabari.
Jordan Clarkson, kind of the guy who kept Missouri within striking distance earlier in this half, Tom. Doing it off the dribble in transition.
And give some credit, too, to Wes Clark, because he was in for Clarkson going into that last timeout. Clarkson's now back in with Criswell, Brown, Ross, and Coast for Missouri. And Brown, Ross and Coast for Missouri. And Brown, talk about a posterizing shot. Wow, take a look at this, folks. Settle back.
Jabari Brown comes strong. I think he surprised everybody, Kentucky defenders included. He's really quiet, but that's both
ranked opponent here at home with the shot clock at 5. Count the bucket.
Clarkson. Big time. Pretty well defended, quite honestly. Just took himself out of it by not staying on the floor.
Jabari Brown in person this year, he's a pretty special player.
He's impressive. He is so impressive because he's poised. He can go off the dribble. He's strong enough to play through contact. We know what he can do from three-point line, and I didn't know he from the three-point.
Johnson out with 4 fouls. Reminder, Waste Management Phoenix open from Bird. Clarkson trying to answer, reverses his field at the last moment.
They've left a number of them at the line here in the second half.
There's Ross. There's Ross right to the basket, gets the roll.
Well, I like the idea of going right to the hole. You don't have to...
The two Harrisons, Randall, Young, and Poitras on the floor for Kentucky. Shot clock is down to 3. Boy, what a slip. Poitras setting the screen and then just rolling to the basket.
That's right. Never really setting at the basket and no fouls.
Well, here is Brown, a quick shot. Fouled with a 3, and he'll go to the line.
Point line. And it was quick. This was called. And a late challenge against Kentucky.
So Brown trying to finish a 4-point play. He does. Missouri had been 1 for their last 7. Here's Randall against Rosberg. And gets the bounce around.
Tough shot.
So now under a minute. Clarkson trying to answer quickly. Oh, what a play.
Well, he may have gotten away with a little bit of a push-off, but no call. But again, Missouri doing his left hand. And that's some of that awkwardness of defending the left-hand guy, although he should know that's where Randall wants to go by now.
Trying to post up against Criswell. Shot clock is down to 10.
Tough matchup here for Williams.
And Harrison, wow, reverses his field and lays it in beautifully to make it a 5-point game. Clarkson trying to answer quickly. And great defense by 3 seconds to play. Williams for 3. That will do it. Clarkson lays it in. And the Kentucky Wildcats bounce back off the loss to LSU to win it 84-79 over Missouri. For Clark Kellogg, this is Tom McCarthy saying so long from Columbia, Missouri, where again the final score is Kentucky 84 and Missouri 79. Coming up next, it's third round coverage of the Waste Management Phoenix Open. This has been energetic, and it has been a great presentation of CBS Sports. The final score, Kentucky wins it, 84-79. CBS Sports, home of the 2014 Men's National Championship.
How do you teach that? You don't teach that, my friend.
Jabari Brown, good if it goes, and it does.
Oh.
Whoa, that's a big shot for Missouri to head to the locker room.
What a 3 by Mr. Brown.
Just when Walker had lit up the...
Tipping off your halftime entertainment this evening. Please welcome, under the direction of Casey Reed.
It's
absolutely,
out.
absolutely.
And it's nothing but the bottom. Great
nothing
shot.
Yes, sir. That's good all the way. I can see that with one eye, man. Come on now. I got 3 officials looking at it. They said good. Good.
Great follow through, and Jabari Brown just turns around, sort of still. Here's Brown, who got a little bit of an opening, and there goes another 3.
He can make it. If he gets open, a little screen for Brown. Last time they got one for Clarkson.
Brown just pulls up from getting the grab and nails it.
Get him going, man. The kid can flat out shoot. I was watching before the game. I was talking to him. He must have been about 9.
Look at where this one took off from.
Wow. He shot that from Orlando. He's in Disney World.
That might have been actually a little bit shorter than the one he hit at the halftime buzzer. There was no hesitation. It was catch the team, the points and the percentage. Brown pull-up jumper. He's starting to get warm. Wild, I thought, shot off the window, but Clarkson. Wilbekin, 3 on the shot clock. I don't know if Clark knows that. Finally, let's fly. And he got it. Big shot by Wes Clark.
He made up for the snell.
Ernest Ross has been on a journey. The Mizzou senior didn't take the traditional path, but as he goes through his final season of college basketball, he's grown all the same.
I just take all these moments in stride, you know. For me being a senior, every time I step on the court or wherever I go, I just take it, you know, as a moment, live in the present.
After averaging 13 points per game as a sophomore at Auburn, Ross decided to transfer. It's no surprise that he was drawn to Frank Haith as a coach. The fact that it was at Mizzou was a surprise.
I didn't really think Missouri would be a place that I would come to. So just when he got the job and they called me and I came here, it was just a great feeling.
Upon transferring to Mizzou, Ross quickly bonded with his teammates and worked on his game here in the practice gym during his transfer year, while Mizzou won the Big 12 title. He seemed poised to break out during his junior season when he was eligible to play, but that's when the real growth began.
With EJ, it was just continuous to show him himself on film. Say, EJ, here's what you're doing now, here's what we would like for you to do. And so it's been a process, but he understands the role that he has now.
Whether it's guarding the team's best player or whether it's getting a crucial rebound or getting a crucial putback, I know my role and I know what I have to do. And so now it's just bringing other guys aboard to know what we have to do, such as the younger guys, and try to help them find their roles and so what we have to do in order to win.
Stay help 3, stay help 3.
Ross attributes his improvement to better communication. He speaks with his coaches daily, setting up a solid senior season.
Wait for the screen, Corey. Wait for the screen, Corey.
And the guy who loves to live in the moment has had plenty of them to enjoy, including a pair of homecomings, dropping a double-double in front of family and friends at NC State, just 4 miles from his hometown.
Big shot right there by Ernest Ross.
When your dentist comes out to the game to see you play, that's how you know it's big.
And following that up with 23 points in his first game back at Auburn since transferring.
My growth spot, I just think that just playing hard and playing with a lot of energy and just showing the freshmen that every time I step on the court, they know Ernest Ross is going to bring it.
That's the maturity coming out in the senior. Ross seems determined to do whatever it takes to win.
I don't think that I would want to leave this place at Mizzou without winning any type of championship. I feel like we have a great team this year and we're definitely capable of winning championships, and so I think if we all bring together what we have, our talent-wise collectively together, I think we have a great chance of winning the championship, and that's what I want to do.
Ross's leadership is pointing the Tigers in that direction. I'm Ben Arnett for the Mizzou Network.
Tigers game at Oxford, Mississippi. There's Coach Haith with his ball club on the road. And, boy, Marshall Henderson, I don't know that I've seen him play a better all-around game, Coach. He was so efficient shooting and then several assists as well.
He had 7 assists in the ball game. He played a great game, and he always plays with great emotion. And I mean, just right there, I mean, those are tough shots. And we had 2 guys with a hand up, and but he's in a great rhythm. Now Jordan made some shots here in the first half. I think Ernest was good here in the first half on a pulling kick in the corner right there, and we knew that we would have the corner shot open based on their zone play. Again, Marshall, right there with a guy on him.
Yeah, he really has improved this year, it seems. Last year he was a shooter and a scorer, but much more rounded player, it appears.
Yeah, and then there's an unexpected. Snoop White makes 4 threes in the game, and he's a guy that's a 20% three-point shooter, and that really hurts you when a guy like that has a game.
Yeah, because as a coach, you have to game plan, don't you, for what the tendencies are, and a guy like that steps up. You just don't see that coming, do you?
No, he's a driver, and then he makes 2 threes. And it was good to see Torrin Jones get in there and get some good minutes and played well as a freshman. We need him to continue to come around.
And from the corner, there's a three-pointer from Ernest Ross. Ernest had 24 points. Henderson, though, I mean, what do you do against that?
Just he's fading away, coming away from the basket. We got the hands in his face, and again, there's Snoop White again. I mean, those guys, they made a lot of threes, and some of them were not contested, but for the most part, I thought we contested them.
Ole Miss led by as many as 18 in the first half. That's the bad news. The good news is the Tigers really fought back on the road and showed great determination here in the second half. There's Jabari Brown.
Jabari didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he got to the basket and scored well, and he and Jordan both. And Ernest obviously had a big night. Really, in the second half, we got it going a little bit.
Sure did. Ole Miss up double digits at halftime by 15 and in the early part of the second half. But Ryan Rosberg came on with a couple of big baskets in your comeback effort.
Yeah, and I think he ended up with 11 points in this ball game. He was very aggressive, and we needed that out of him, and some post presence.
And you got the ball inside. That's what we're seeing on these highlights. Clarkson driving, Rosberg scoring down low. A lot of points in the paint.
Yeah, and we didn't settle. They played zone most of the game. We didn't settle for, just taking a lot of jump shots. We tried to attack the basket, and I thought we got in the paint area and made some good plays.
And that's great, isn't it? Because we've talked about your team is so good at free throws, and more on that in the Arkansas game. You can really make up some ground.
Yeah, and you can neutralize the game a little bit. And when our guys are shooting, when our guys are attacking and we're getting in the paint and we're creating contact.
Well, it's getting late now in a close ball game, and Wes Clark, the freshman from Detroit, has made some big three-pointers here recently, and that got you within 5, and then Jabari Brown would score as well to get you close, and you really were in this game down the stretch. You had to be proud with the effort, Coach.
Really, really was, in terms of how we just stayed focused and kept fighting, kept competing. We couldn't get the stop we needed to kind of to go ahead, and that was another one right there in transition. We needed to foul that guy earlier. I think it was about a minute and a half left to go in that game, but big three here by West. I think we got down 7 or 8 here with about a minute left, but we made some plays, and they turned the ball over, and we scored quickly here, and I think Jabari gets his ball back. We get it back to him for another 3. I don't know if that cut it to 3 right there.
Right.
And then we had a nice pressure here, and they stepped out of bounds, so we get another shot with 0.9 seconds.
That's enough time for a play, and you drew one up, and just about a foot outside Ernest Ross's range, if that.
Yeah, if we had the pass, but I felt like they would jump Jabari off a little curl screen there, and both guys did.
Missouri, where 2 border rivals now turn conference rivals, square off tonight as Arkansas comes in to take on the Tigers of Missouri.
Playing a team that's in the same boat as we are. They're 4 and 6 in league play, and we think we're playing a little bit better than we were early in the year. So hopefully it's a time that you can put a lot of things together. The cylinders start clicking. Guys understand and trusting one another on the floor. And I just think if we can apply our defensive pressure like we've been in the last couple of games, I think that bodes well for us.
It's a game we got to have a really good performance. We're playing an Arkansas team I think is a very talented team, but we've got to play well and win. We got to protect our home court. If we want to play in postseason, you're in February, you got to be starting to play your best basketball.
Hard to get back to even.
Jonathan Williams III going up against Bobby Portis, a couple of freshmen. Keith Fred going to 3rd inside. Ryan Rosberg playing the best basketball of his career. Puts the first dude better. But it was a girl that told him that, so it's not really surprising. Jordan Clarkson goes in to score to tie the game at 4.
See that?
Ernest Ross will shoot a couple.
You know, and he's going to drill this one. And have all come in.
Wade has it, but he gives it right back to Jabari Brown, and Brown lays it in.
Boy, Brown just sat there. That was a great defensive move by Brown.
A foul was caught on Cody Clark. It's his second. From Houston.
2 more from penetration. You know, penetration has really been a...
Clarkson will pull up. Jordan Clarkson. He's got 4.
With Arkansas picked up offensively here, which is very important for him, about 5 possessions back.
Fayetteville, including a huge three-pointer late at 24 points, as did Brown. Ernest has hit all 4 of his free throws tonight. There's 4 foul on Arkansas. Missouri's committed 6. Ross. Beautiful pass in the bucket from Ernest Ross as Clarkson found.
Really good basketball at both ends of the floor, both ways.
We've seen Florida extreme. They lost by 35 points to Tennessee, and since then they've been terrific.
Well, and then there were a couple of other really bad losses in there too, and it was amazing. And then he really went after it.
And Alandis Harris made a beautiful finish, and Rosberg flushed it. Started to take it up strong. State picked it back out to Clarkson, front of the rim. Offensive rebound, Criswell.
Not only did he, and with that left hand, he was going to his left hand.
All the way to the bucket and scoring again is Criswell. Guys, including Jabari Brown, who's waiting to return to the game. Big, strong guys have a little height and length to them. Ross is going to take a seat as Brown comes back there.
And that's something you've got to do out here, and I'm always looking at that. And these kids have done a great job under pressure, going against the difference between a push and a flagrant call.
Wes Clark.
Probably, you know, that again, though, I think that's something that, you know, it's a lot harder for the driver to get anything done than if you're sitting back behind under the bucket somewhere, because he's right.
Jordan Clarkson now has 8, and Missouri has Romeos of the world in terms of how to express their affection on Valentine's Day. So you didn't necessarily
her find them, and I always tell her I don't know how it got there. But I kind of enjoyed that Brown turn and face, because he's got a lot of things that he can do if he has the ball in the center circle, in the foul circle, where he go left, go right.
The SEC's best free throw shooting team continues to make hay.
And get Brown
on the push. Wes Clark is cut off. There goes Brown. He might have pushed off a little bit. Jabari creates a little space and scores. Jabari Brown in double figures.
We had a push off there. Back in the game.
Portis missed the 3. Brown's going to pull up. Fire from 3. Got it. He can erupt quickly. And Jabari Brown, knockable in there, I don't think. Double clutch did score. Jabari Brown, it counts.
I'm not sure that was not a foul on the driver. And had it been, that takes away 3 points. And since it wasn't...
Agreed. No, agreed.
See if we can get another look at that at some point. That was a big...
Before he fell down, got rid of it and avoided the travel.
It was a great play by Criswell.
Ross. Those Razorbacks can't hold Ross back. 44th
is going down. We'll make a lot of changes between now and when the selections are.
Clarkson lost it for a second, regained it, and scored. Jordan Clarkson now has 10.
You got 50 seconds to go, so do you try and get a quick attack and then maybe have another one? Well, they can still get the ball back. Arkansas an opportunity to score here. It's going to be quick.
Bell for 3. Can't get it to go. Quarles tried to tip it in. It wouldn't go, so we'll go to the break. Tigers holding a 48-42 lead, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, and here's where Missouri's done its damage. 22 points in the paint,
It doesn't include the 19 free throws. The Tigers have made all 19 of the free throws they've attempted, and as a result, they have the good second half here in Columbia. But right now, we send you to Chris Cotter, Andy Katz, and Bruce Pearl for the Mazda half.
But he just needs more of that. They better be careful here. They're going to double up.
Ernest Ross for three.
See, that's what can happen with the double up.
Clarkson. Jordan gets his own rebound, finds Rosberg.
Boy, secondary help is maybe the most important thing in playing basketball well.
Clarkson has 14, and Missouri up by 10. Jabari Brown. Ross for three. Ernest Ross with 14. Won't show the one that Ernest missed badly, just the one in which he nestled into the net. Missouri continues to hang.
Postman waited till the last second and then bumped the guy going to the bucket. Brown, and where the driver can't get to the bucket and where you're not going to foul. Now that's like giving away 2 points there.
Terrific free throw shooter. Gets things back in order. 10 of 11 from the line. He's got 19 for the SF. Extremely high on. Brown dishes it off. Criswell laid it in. Beautiful pass from Jabari Brown.
Boy, Brown is really... I don't think they're quite there yet.
And Clarkson rolls it in.
In free throws with some really careless defensive play that resulted in Arkansas free throws rather than a change.
Reaching the midway point of the second half as Jordan Clarkson gets in the lane and kisses it off the window. Friendly nighttime banking hours for Mizzou as they regain the lead. Clarkson inside, creates nicely.
But then you also have to give a lot of credit to Arkansas being down 10. The help that the opportunities they had and turned it into points.
Jabari Brown away from Brown. Ross from the corner for three. Tipped up, no good. Tipped good. Clarkson, and he's fouled.
Well, that's the best play. Clarkson made the best play that Missouri has had in the second half. I think he's paying more attention to that than the free throw.
You saw Jordan Clarkson running back toward the locker room as Ross makes the second.
Brown made great athletic move to get that rebound.
Brown hits the first. Be sure to catch a primetime Devilry Week presented by Wendy's. You can see any game you want on the ESPN platform. Go and watch ESPN.
A big play by Brown as a player, and then that way you can still exude some pressure.
Clark with a huge three. Wes Clark getting deep in the shot clock. Clarkson extends that arm all the way to the basket. Jordan Clarkson on his first trip back as the head coach of the Razorbacks. Clarkson now with 20.
That has to be a lane violation.
And he made it. And let it slide. 8 mistakes. It's almost seems as if they're trying to give the Razorbacks every opportunity. Qualls cashes
well, they
in.
have.
Yeah. 150. Ty Madden. Wade to the bucket. Mara Drake Wade puts Arkansas up with 1:14 left.
27.
A little front iron, rolled it in. 11 of 12 from the free throw line. This for the tie.
Tie. Oh no, they missed it. A little bit on that.
On Clarkson, dribbles off his foot. Wade traveled and got away with it. And then stepping on the baseline was Madden. turnover for the Hogs and 23.9.
How deep they are. You've got two defensive players already down at the basket.
Jabari Brown in the paint. Missouri's on top. Now Arkansas has a chance. Reese's perfect play.
Now see, he does a great job here, and he splits it. See, the defensive man was slow coming over. We've talked about that all night. And yet, if that offense is moved up higher, you got a much better chance. Where I want him, but I don't want anybody down low where they are either. I want everybody up high. Now, it's not out of the realm of possibility from what we've seen that Missouri might commit a foul here.
Madden working on Clarkson. Kai Madden puts it up. It won't go. Fight for the rebound. Who has it? Jabari Brown does, and time expires in Missouri. Hangs on 86-85. Another heartbreaking road loss for the Razorbacks as Madden has been slow to get up as he missed on the drive, and Missouri pulls it out to stop their three-game losing streak. The winning points coming courtesy of Jabari Brown, who had 25 points tonight, and Qualls didn't have a chance to get the follow to give Arkansas the win. Let's take another look at this final attempt for Madden. Rosberg stood his ground that time and made the shot difficult.
Yeah. Instead of going into him, Rosberg just, the first thing I would do if I were the Missouri coach is I would keep Rosberg here tonight, or I'd keep him here, get him here first thing in the morning, and I would go through his poor positioning defensively throughout the course of the whole ball game, because I would be willing to bet we could figure that out as 8 or 10 points.
So Missouri and Jabari Brown, they get the win, 86-85. Big Ten basketball is coming up next, Minnesota and Wisconsin. For Bob Knight and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Reese Davis. Thanks for watching this.
All Phil Pressey wanted was a chance. The former Tiger and son of a former NBA player. Joining the league was Phil's dream, too. Getting a foot in the door in Boston was enough.
Going into the draft, I knew the Celtics loved me. Danny Ainge loved me. And, 5 minutes after the draft, he called me and let me know that I had a chance to play for them. So, that excited me like no other. And I won the Summer League, and I played very well, and that helped me out. So I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Pressey's summer standout got him a guaranteed contract for the 2013-2014 season. He made the most of it. In his first career NBA start, Pressey had 10 assists and 0 turnovers. His play and the Celtics' confidence in him gives Phil hope that he's found a home in Boston for years to come.
It's always good to have that security, like you said, but I'm always working. I always feel like I haven't done enough, and I always feel like I haven't made it yet.
When Pressey made it season,
when we first came here, he used to stay in the practice gym and just work out all the time. He had a little cot that he had in the film room, and he would come in the practice gym and just work out, watch film, work out, watch film.
It feels like home, and I feel like this will always be home.
His college home is where Pressey grew up, becoming Mizzou's all-time assist leader. Running Frank Haith's offense helped turn Pressey into a pro point guard.
Well, in our setting, the point guard has to be an extension of the head coach. It was imperative. He and Coach Haith spent a lot of time watching film to make sure you're having a command and a presence. And that's something that, it was new to him, but he bought into it, and I think it's actually helped him in what he has to do now.
And Phil hasn't forgotten all he learned here, continuing to carry the flag for Missouri.
And I've just been trying to take this Mizzou program and wear it on my back, and I wear it with pride. Without this program, there is no Phil Pressey.
I'm Ben Arnett for the Mizzou Network.
Oklahoma State to its 6th consecutive defeat, and Jeremy Clarkson will have a chance for a three-point play here in Columbia, Missouri, where the Tigers are trying to win their 2nd consecutive game after losing 3 straight. Joe Lunardi's last 4 ends to the line. Tulsa transfer in his first season at Missouri, dating back to his time at Tulsa. Double figures in 52 straight for the San Antonio native.
Well, this time of the year, every season, some teams, same transition attack of the 45. There it is. That is what they do best.
And it's Brown with a chance for a 3-point play.
10-0 Mizzou. Run wide, and when this ball is passed to the opposite side, hold it right there, guys. That's the cut I'm looking for. That's the 45-degree angle. They've now scored on 4 times in this game in their transition push.
Brown, the leading scorer in SEC games, already has 8. Missouri with a 10-point lead. Taking his legs out. You're not doing the job.
No, you absolutely can't. He's I was watching him in pregame warm-ups and just the power of that back and forth.
It is one of the best rebounding teams in the country in Tennessee. Brown a step back into double figures in the first 8 minutes of this game.
He is lethal. It's a glass. They're being outnumbered quickly, running the other way.
Already 3 offensive rebounds.
They're going to play games like that every other day. Bring your game again. So far they have.
Kurzweil with only his 5th 3 of the season.
2-guard in the country over the last month in this cap. He can attack the rim in transition. He gets fouled at a high rate. He can also spot up with a lean-back threes and knock them down. And he shoots the ball with a ton of confidence. He's also added a mid-range game. He actually finished off Arkansas Thursday night with a mid-range. 4 guys in college ball that are hitting that mark or higher in conference play.
Manning got called. Changed what they do stylistically each time.
But Jabari Brown's game has grown this year. It was just an early ball screen drag action by Jerron Maimon, making Missouri's bigs cover.
There's Ross. Williams pulled it off of the rim and stuffed it down.
Over his 270 pounds to avoid charges.
Once again in transition, Ross with 2 more.
That is crazy.
From Missouri, Clarkson, no look to Ross. A follow from Post. He scores and a foul. So the guy's off of the bench.
Too easy of a get back for Clarkson.
Now Post, good position. Hook shot over Maimon won't go, but then routed in, and they give Jones credit for the putback. He said it has bounced back well, played well in the rematch on Tuesday. There's 17. Post will throw it down.
Well, Tennessee is stepping up. They're stepping up defensively with Stokes.
McCray gets blocked by Jones. Jones and Post off of the bench, getting the job done for Missouri.
Tennessee's defense, though. They're going to try to hang in this ball game by saying someone other than the big 3 guards are going to have to score points. You attack us, we're going to step up. Look at Stokes, step up. And that allows the drop down and the drop off at over 7 per game. And again, his last time to be in double figures was December 28th in the road win at NC State.
Ross spinning inside. Maimon went straight up. Jones found it and got 2 more.
With a balance of Frank. Ernest Ross, he's met power for power by Maimon. He's not going to power through Maimon like he can most guys. But the good soft hands of Jones.
Yeah, first time they'd ever played into a shootout. Here's Ross, he'll throw it down. Not what you drew up out of that timeout.
Ernest Ross should make that. Gordon McCray was double teamed, and Ernest Ross shot the gap. He could bench press Mizzou Arena, and he can run about a 4.5 40. Defensive.
Yanni Post is going to have to be the guy to throw it off.
And why did he not throw the ball out in front to Clarkson and let him go run it down and get a shot off?
It's a 4-point lead for Missouri, trying to get its 2nd win in 3 days after losing 3 straight. Shoot the lights out in this first half. Let's go to this. Ryan Rosberg ties the game with his first point of the game. Ryan Rosberg makes a pair and puts Missouri back in front. Jones. Now Ross with the drive and the first Missouri field goal of the second half.
The explosiveness that this kid has. He's a big-time major athlete, and that is a weak foul on a power guy.
Schedule in the country coming into the weekend. Clarkson, nice down the lane. Jones there for the foul.
Well, Barton can't guard his spot right now for Tennessee. So therefore you had to switch out and get some help, and now the 4-guy Maimon, who can't keep up with Clarkson, gets a free attack to the rim.
And now stumbling to the floor is Barton. Ross through Richardson, gets rejected. Jones there to follow. Arizona.
Why did we stop the game?
I don't know. Clark comes. Best free throw shooting team in the SEC, made 20. Shot clock winds inside of 10. Stokes dumps it off for Richardson and a Tennessee lead.
The passing ability of Stokes and his soft paws are tremendous. That's why he's one of the better
minute mark of that first half. Until now,
he's a big-time scorer. He gets the rim and finishes or gets fouled, and he's a 180 guy. And I've already talked about you add up his field goal percentage plus free throw percentage plus three-point percentage to blow.
They got Maiman for the foul, his third. 19. A team high 14 and a tie game midway through the second of this
NCAA tournament. They are good enough to win a game or two.
Brown, tough finish and a foul. His first field goal since the 13-minute mark of the first half.
I just say, very difficult to handle. He drives that ball low. He's really progressed in this area of his game, Joe, over the last year.
16 for Brown, and Missouri back in front.
This game, he has it in his back pocket. Will he go to it a time or two?
Brown nails it on two.
He was really good now. I trust him as much as any two guard in the country. Brown, not only can the dude play, but he has a very quiet toughness about him. He doesn't yap. He doesn't point at himself. On Antonio Barton again.
Clarkson to a wide open Criswell, who banked it over Barton.
And I don't want to pick on Barton, but again, it's one at the top.
McCray for three, and the tie. Timeout taken by Conzo Martin. 20 for Tennessee to get it back to a tie game.
ISO for Brown, now the timeout.
And why not?
Well done. Frank Hayes been very good today out of...
So Missouri retains it with a shot clock winding inside of 15. And Clarkson, who's been so quiet today with his first field goal of the second half.
You know what that was? That was best on guard. He didn't become the point guard until about halfway through his redshirt year last year. And Frank Hayes said, I'm going to give you the keys to the offense, learn the position. He continues to talk and lead and touch people and do all the things you want from a point guard. McCray just hit a big-time shot. The step in and the step back ball game.
Brown, that's always a good decision.
Absolutely. Jabari Brown, his ability right now again to get to the rim today. A little bit of an ISO. It comes off of a ball screen, but all it does is isolate Jabari Brown to attack off the bounce.
22 today. Clarkson, a tough shot. Didn't have a field goal over the first 14 minutes of this half. His second of the last few minutes.
And he drove it with his right
outside.
And there's a lot of contact on McCray after that last three, wasn't there?
Now he works inside and an offensive foul.
So there's a lot of time left, 28 on the shot clock, and McCray probably tried to make something out of nothing. When the defense was set, he comes off to a ball screen. Williams kind of gets him under control, and Rosberg just sitting and waiting on him.
It's the third on McCray. For Ross, here's Clark, who gets it knocked away. A loose ball corralled by Clarkson. Then it's stolen on the floor. Reese has got it with a tie-up, keeping it on this end. Tennessee ball with 27 seconds.
Great defensive anticipation and smarts by Reese.
13 ties and 11 lead changes. Jabari Brown drove the lane and knocked down the final two of his 25. Shot Madden missed a jumper in the final seconds. 86-85. Missouri hangs on for the win in that one to snap a three-game skid. And now they look to try and make it back-to-back wins over Arkansas and over Tennessee. We welcome you one final time back courtside. Jimmy Dykes in this game.
McCray has to get a look.
Now they get Ross for a foul.
He just ran smooth through.
One-point game with 18 seconds. And a couple of quick subs coming in. Armani points today to lead Missouri. Knocks down the first. So he makes both, and a three-point game. Frank Hayes will let him
pick out for another three.
No timeouts for Tennessee. Here's McCray. Straightaway threes off the rim. And last touched by Missouri.
It's exactly what Tennessee. Here comes McCray. Going to switch out on him.
Brown's waiting for him. Brown knocks it away. Williams has it and gets fouled with 4.3.
Great defensive play by Jabari Brown to sniff that thing out and switch out. Everyone in the building knew that Jordan McCray was going to start from the far side of the play and come ball side. Ernest Ross initially tags him, then he passes him off to Jabari Brown. No one else was open, and Brown sniffs out the play.
But it's Jonathan Williams who's fouled. Williams just a 54% foul shooter. He gets 2 shots. And makes it a 2-possession game.
Nothing else. He's tough.
Makes both. And Missouri, after losing 3 in a row, wins back-to-back games. In Joe Lunardi's last 4 in, but not for long, with a big top 50 RPI win. 75-70 the final.
Big-time basketball game. Both these teams, again, I think they will find their way in the NCAA tournament, and they're capable of winning the game. I said it earlier, I cannot wait for the rematch, Missouri at Tennessee, to close out SEC regular season play.
Coming up next, Georgia State and Troy in progress down in Troy, Alabama. We send you out there to Georgia State and Troy.
Mizzou is not uncharted territory for transfers, and Deuce Bello is one of the latest transfer Tigers. Arriving this year from Baylor, Bello brings an athletic background to Columbia.
My role, I think, will be same thing, playing defense, playing hard, showing good energy, and showing my athleticism.
Deuce isn't only working on his game during his transfer season, he's also working on his verbal skills, as in communication. Bello is switching to point guard, and he's kind of a quiet guy, but you can't be quiet if you're going to run the offense.
I've seen him be vocal. Now, I think he can improve on it. You know, he's like Jordan. You know, Jordan's probably not one of the most vocal people on the team, but, you know, he demands his personality demands a lot when he's on the court. It's difficult for me because in practice I've been playing the point guard. I've never played point guard in college yet, so he told me to play that, and playing the point guard, you got to be vocal. So I'm trying to change that.
He's got great examples to look up to. Guards Jordan Clarkson and Jabari Brown are soft-spoken transfers who transition to new roles during their sit-out seasons. And if Deuce wants tips, he doesn't have to go far.
Oh yeah, I live with Jordan and Jabari, so I always go to them for advice, and they let me know what it was like my sit-out year and how hard I got to work.
Though conversation can often be sparing in the Bello Brown Clarkson house.
Yeah, sometimes everybody just kind of locked up in their room, and then maybe somebody just comes in the room and is like, what's up?
The point always gets across on the court.
So I think Deuce can be the same exact way. You know, he might not say a lot, but the way he plays, he goes hard, and he plays with a super high motor, and I think that's a great thing.
And next season, Deuce expects we'll all hear him loud and clear. I'm Ben Arnett for the Mizzou Network.
More to get his teammates involved than he is to worry about his time on the floor. That has not always been the case for Fuller, as Wes Clark hits Missouri's first 3 of the game. Clark pull up, got it. Passes up the look. Fuller will take the 3, and he's well long on that. So now Brown, the pass inside and the basket for Torrin Jones. There's a good look for 3 in the lead for the Tigers. Ernest Ross hits.
I would say of the Missouri players, there's another guy that you'd say is fearless.
There's Rosberg inside. Siakam guarding him.
Nice step. Not giving him a break. Huh?
Cross-court pass. Good look for Ross. Got it.
I think the kid's an assassin. I mean, I really do. He's had the big games when they've needed him big shots. They got good athletic guys. Brown can't get free.
Not the shot they want. Williams got the 3.
Shot clock winding down, and the big freshman.
His second 3 of the season. There's Brown. Good move. Got Fuller down. Wow.
And when you've got a guy like that, the next time down, if I'm Clarkson, I find him again.
Nelson, look at the freshman Jones give Vandy a 3-point lead.
Again, patience, step through, and there's impatience. Buddy made a bucket.
Jordan Clarkson now with a chance to tie it up on the 3-point play. Reaching the 5-minute mark here in Mizzou Arena. Wide open three. Good. Ernest Ross. Shot clock at 6. Ross the 3. Bang.
He'll hunt it. He'll knock it down.
To Clarkson. Williams bodies up Johnson for his second field goal.
Well, anytime Missouri can get some inside production, it's just that much more help to Frank Hastings because he's so perimeter oriented with those 3 guards. 5-on-4, ball's got to move.
It does to Rosberg. Acrobatic reverse layup from Rosberg.
Excellent free foot move that time. Faked one side of the basket, reverse back, used the free foot to get to the other.
Deal. Jacoby Davis with a 3, back to a 1-point game. Until Brown stuffs it down. Missouri getting out in transition.
That's how you attack the basket. That's being aggressive in transition. 10 in a row. I know you're at the bottom, towards the bottom of the conference. But to their credit, just working hard, doing the best they can.
Good ball movement to set up Rosberg for the slam.
Next year in the NBA team, I'm sure that's one area they'll work daily on.
Thomas trying to force it inside. Here's Clarkson at his best, working down the floor to lay it in.
And he does a real good job for a guy that really didn't come in as a point guard. He was more of a 2-guard at Tulsa, looking for a traveling call, but found Ernest Ross wide open in the corner. Nice steal.
And Clarkson will throw it down. Clarkson spinning to the free throw line. Kick into Ross. Ball fake. Post follows, and it counts. Brown penetrates. Post into double figures with authority.
Excellent catch and finish by the big man.
Off the front of the rim. Post the rebound. Here comes Missouri. Brown working inside. 16 for Jabari Brown, the lead-off scorer.
Yeah, moved it over to the left hand, almost like he ran past the basket, but able to finish with the left. The other perimeter players, because defense is going to be aware of them and collapse.
Jones off of the feed from Clarkson.
Or you may just get a transition dunk.
Ready. And Ready gets blocked by Jones. Where? In series. The other time was against Kansas State in his first year. Ross buries a corner 3. Missouri's knocked down 8 3-balls in this game. And Mississippi State has hit 9 threes. Jones throws it down.
Well, that's all on Gavin Ware, just not running the floor. That's an effort play. Rick Ray's not happy about that at all. He'll take a timeout.
Brown the other way with the hammer. He tomahawks it to get Missouri a 21-18 lead. Catches, dribbles, right baseline. Rosberg for the jam on a Pizza Hut delivery from Jabari Brown. Right side, Brown drives, leave it left block, post for the hammer. A Pizza Hut delivery from Brown. Bounces to Clarkson around Bloodman to the left side. In the middle of the paint. A tomahawk two-handed flush by Torrin Jones. In transition, Jones with the tomahawk for Missouri.
Yeah, Mississippi State showing no opposition at all. Won't run down the floor. Need a timeout, taking a timeout.
Not all flights are direct. Don't bother telling Cam Bescheid that. The St. Louis native knows all about detours.
Yeah, I think it's funny that it turned out that way, but I'm glad it did.
In 2012, Cam was the state's best player, Mr. Show Me Basketball, after scoring over 2,000 career points at Cardinal Ritter. But he passed on Mizzou to attend Notre Dame. After one season with the Irish and seeing what Frank Haith was putting together back in Columbia, Bescheid had a change of heart.
The opportunity to get the best player out of the state, no matter what year you could possibly get them, is important to our Mizzou brand.
I feel like when a guy transfers or leaves a school that everyone else and even the media just considers that kid to be a bad kid and just a problem child or something like that. And Coach Hayes, Coach Fuller, Coach Phelps, Coach Lato, everybody on our staff, they all like embrace you as if you weren't just. It's almost and you don't have to be a bad person or a bad kid or a bad player just because you transfer, and they know that and they accept that, and they want to take transfers that are talented and help them show their game and expand their game.
In a way, Cam's story is that of a second chance for a player who was once the top prep prospect in the state to play for his home state school. And even though he didn't take the direct path to Mizzou, now that he is in Columbia, Cam feels comfortable as a Tiger.
There's a real family feel here, a real sense of brotherhood here that I can feel, and I like that a lot. That's why I'm glad I came here.
Now that he's back home, his play on the court can really develop. A sleek scorer who averaged nearly 32 points per game as a high school senior, Cam looks a lot like another current Tiger transfer, Jabari Brown.
I try to watch him a lot and guard him in practice just to get a feel for how he plays, how he feels the game, so I can feel the game that way next year.
Bishide brings other intangibles.
He is a strong leader. I think the guys want to follow him, and they look up to him.
Plus the experience of a season in the Big East.
We joke all the time about some of the guys that he played against in the Big East that have already guarded him, some of the best defenders in the country, and it won't be his first rodeo when he gets out there because he's had to do it against high-level competition.
And now he gets to perform in his home state, a fact that isn't wasted on Cam.
That's one of the things that fuels me every day, like while I'm working out or at practice, to just know that I'm from Missouri and I have a chance to broadcast my talents at my state school in front of fans that have seen me play before and just fans from the same place that I'm from.
And those Tiger fans would love nothing more than to see Cam Bishide shine in a Mizzou uniform. I'm Ben Arnett for the Mizzou.
The Tigers have only made 2 field goals so far. They're making 3 on the bucket from Criswell. Brown pulls up. Fighting Williams and one ends the Missouri scoring drought. 3 fast break buckets for the Aggies, none for the Tigers. Brown lines it up. Triple tries pure.
But Clarkson with some penetration in the zone, got his feet in the paint, got his socks in the box there, draw some defenders. Nice kick out by Jordan Clarkson.
Green turns it over. Brown one-on-one, driving on Jones. And a follow slam by Jonathan Williams.
At both ends of the court.
They got Jones a good look, but he couldn't hit the 3. On the move, into the post, Jones pump fakes, and one for Torrin Jones.
The term they use for Torrin Jones is he has a great motor.
4 on 3 for the Tigers. And one again, Jonathan Williams.
A lot of energy in the first half, better ball handling by Missouri here in the second half.
Clarkson with the shot clock winding down.
And he does not turn it over.
Taken away. And a whistle as Ross got his hand on the ball. 30 games for the Tigers. It's as close as they've been today. Second time this half.
Missouri within one. Clarkson inbounds. Ross right to the bucket. Got it to go.
There's that elbow ISO play. We've seen it time and again.
Missouri basketball. Down to Missouri and a quick foul. And Green can't believe it.
First half, the senior is 0 for 5.
Missouri leads for the first time. In the paint, tipped away again, loose ball. And Missouri comes from behind. The Tigers win 57-56.
In Atlanta. Hi there, Tiger fans. I'm Ben Arnett at the Georgia Dome, where the Tigers got their first look at the venue for the 2014 SEC tournament on Wednesday. Thursday at noon Central Time, Mizzou takes on Texas A&M in a winner-go-home battle. And I talked it over with Tiger head coach Frank Hayes.
You know, you really consistently got to get your guys to understand, worry about what you can control, not try to look past the moment, stay in the present. And the present right now, we had to prepare. We're preparing for a day to get ready to play a Texas A&M team tomorrow. That's really good. So I think that's all mindset's got to be, instead of wandering past the present, and because you can get caught up doing that and then you lose focus.
Sounds like the best way to win 4 in a row is to not think about winning 4 in a row, right?
Right. You can't do that, and it's kind of cliche, in terms of one game at a time, but it's so true. And you got to really just focus on beating and winning your first game, and it will be the hardest. We won't play a harder game than tomorrow in this tournament if we're fortunate enough to win that game, because once that's the first time you're going out on the court against a team that's very, very good, and you're getting used to your environment. So it will be the toughest game. So that's why we got to put so much emphasis on focusing on just that game.
Obviously, we just saw Texas A&M, and you mentioned what a tough physical game they bring. Is there anything to those guys other than just bringing grit and playing hard?
Yeah, they're tough guys. They got a tough coach. They compete hard. Their style, the tempo they play at is unique. They play a slow-down pace on offense. They play a slow-down pace on defense, basically. You've got to be patient on both ends of the court to compete against these guys.
You mentioned the environment. It's not a gym at all by any stretch of the means here in the Georgia Dome. What do you tell your guys, especially your shooters, about how they need to adjust to this environment to play basketball in a football stadium?
First of all, we had our first test today, going out there, just getting some shots up and getting used to the environment, the floor, getting up and down a little bit. And as you can see, it's going to be different because when you shoot a shot straight on, the backdrop looks different than you normally, and the rims are a little bit different than you're normally used to, but they can't worry about it because you can't control it. All you got to do, the other team's got to play in there too, so we got to worry about what we can control, and that's how hard we play and getting back to playing again the way we know how to play.
Talk to Ernest. He mentioned emphasis on focus and poise. Is that really what it comes down to this time of year?
Yeah, the team that has the most composure and plays together and plays has great chemistry, those are the teams that are going to win the games. And that poise is a big word in terms of competitive competing in an event. But we've got to play together as a team too. I think it's extremely important. And then we've got to play confident, with a lot of confidence.
You don't need a long memory to remember the last time the Tigers and Aggies hooked up. Mizzou won a tough battle over Texas A&M on March 5th, a game that Coach Haith likened to a toothache. He and the Tigers expect a similarly gritty performance from the Aggies.
Round 2 of the SEC tournament, Missouri opening play against the Aggies of Texas A&M in an 8-9 matchup. Clarkson left side of the key to the right side of the key. Cut off by space. Left side Williams to the left wing. Drops it between his legs. Gets to the elbow. Left wing Ross. Here comes a 3. Bang! Ernest Ross pulls Missouri within 1. He scored all 7 of Mizzou's points. On the baseline for space. Hands it inside right side for Johns. Taken away by Missouri's Clarkson. Brown heads the other way for Missouri. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Splashes home. 50. Missouri leads it 13-11. Cut off right side of the key. Shot clock at 15. Ross wants a pick from Williams to the right wing, to the right elbow. Left corner Ross, catch, shoot 3. Made it. He's hit 2. Missouri leads it 20-18. Johnson picks it up in the front court, chased by Harris, jams it, and hangs on the rim. No call on a technical because there was a man underneath him. Missouri with consecutive baskets. They scored 5 straight. Clark back to Brown, reverse it left side. Ross, catch and shoot 3, made it. He's made 3 threes in the first half. Mizzou leads by 8. Tigers head to the locker room leading 34-26. Comes to the left wing with the dribble inside the arc, now outside for Brown. Around Caruso to the right elbow. Right wing Williams, a 3 from J-Dub goes down. The freshman splashes it home. Back to Williams, top of the key for Brown. Brown, ball fake, teardrop from the free throw line, rims home. Nice job by Jonathan Williams facilitating that play and moving the ball. Ross on the right side. Right baseline for Williams. A path to the basket, and he slams it with a chin-up dunk. Brown, guarded by Caruso. Brown, crossover, pull back 3 from the right wing. Splashes home, and Missouri extends it to 9. Brown, left side. Had it knocked away, picked up by Ross into the paint. Throws it up, missed it. Jammed down by Jonathan Williams III to give Mizzou the lead with 3:10 to play. Mizzou down 68-66. First one splashes home. He's got 21. Brown's next free throw. Good as well. We're tied at 68. Shot clock at 15. Missouri all around the perimeter. Not much inside. Clarkson takes it with 10 on the shot clock. Clarkson to the right side. Around Roberson to the right baseline. Rims it home. Big time play that time by a big time player. Now throws it, bounces it in, taken by Clarkson. Back to West. Clark intercepted by A&M. Caruso lays it up and in with 8 seconds to play in overtime.
Defense has been so sketchy that we have to score just about every possession to stay in the game.
His next free throw short. Rebound. Jonathan Williams puts it up, missed it, gets it back, puts it up and in.
The young man would not be denied. That's how you have a chance to win.
Makes them both. That one clanked. Ross has got 24. Missouri leads by 5. 20 on the shot clock. Jones drives into the paint. Flip it, miss it. Tipped up and out by Roberson. Rebound Ross of Missouri. Bounces it a couple of times. Spins it. It's on its way. He made it. His first points in SEC play. Gives Missouri a 7-point lead with a minute to play in double overtime. Caruso into the front court. Caruso knocked away by Rector, who picks it up, comes right sideline into the front court. Missouri is going to the third round to take on Florida. Final score in double overtime, 91-83.
By Tennessee in Knoxville on Saturday.
Caruso for 3.
Possessions when they have the ball and long possessions when they're on defense.
That one was a shorter possession than you would think. Clock for Mizzou. They don't use any of it as they bury the 3. High scoring, but their accuracy is better.
Point shooter, take it all the way to the rim. Now he's making plays for others off the bounce.
And now Missouri with a lead, and they add to it.
That's a 1-1-3 lifted zone with the wings that Rosberg attacks again with his right hand.
Launch one from way out. Instead, brings it in and gets it to Williams on the wing, and Williams drains the 3. Around a pick. A wraparound pass is loose on the floor, and overtime is at hand. Rosberg going to set a pick, but Clarkson's going the other way. Around everybody on the baseline to a 68-68 overtime, and they did get. Now they get the trap, and they get the steal, and the basket! Do you believe that? Game in the final 66 seconds of the game for the win. And now Williams underneath. 91-83 will be our final. And it will be.
Welcome to ESPN's continuing coverage of the first round of the 2014 National Invitation Tournament here in Columbia, Missouri at Mizzou Arena. It's the Tigers hosting Davidson in the Minnesota region. These are the 8 teams trying to get to Madison Square Garden alongside Malcolm Huckabee. And Malcolm, in our one-on-one, 2 terrific players.
Davidson is led by Damon Brooks, the Southern Conference Player of the Year. For his career, he's over 1,700 points and over 750 rebounds. He is a matchup nightmare. And then for Missouri, they're led by Jabari Brown, first-team All-SEC. He led the SEC in scoring, an explosive guard. He can score in a variety of ways.
Checking the starting lineups for the Wildcats. Damon Brooks helped out in the backcourt by Brian Sullivan and Tyler Kalinowski. Those two both average double figures. And what an overall backcourt it is for Frank Haith in Missouri. Not only Jabari Brown averaging close to 20 points per game, but Jordan Clarkson averaging just under down and score the ball. This could easily be a game that gets into the 80s.
Absolutely.
First bucket of the game, a little jump hook from Jordan Clarkson. And these big guards at foul early in the game, only a minute or so into the game, might have been the biggest moment of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back the other way, Brown knocks down a three. Torrin Jones. Not wasting any time, Ernest Ross hits the jumper.
Well, we keep going at this.
12 in the paint. That mid-range jumper rattled home for Jordan Clarkson. Jabari Brown creates some space and knocks it down.
Bob, they're going to have to think of...
Jabari Brown on fire to start the game. He answers.
Well, you can see...
Jabari Brown, tough shot. He gets it to go, plus the foul. So a chance for a three-point play as Jabari...
About as impressive guard that you're going to find in the nation. He's got great size. And then right here, this is the reason why he's going to play at the next level. He's got his ability to take the hit.
Transfer from Oregon. He scored 12 total points in 2 games at Oregon DC, and we're finding out why.
Well, he is impressive. Step-back jumpers. He is a guy that can take the hit. I love his control, body control. He's able to step back, square his body up. And this is a pretty big defender right here. He's so strong going to the hole. He has the ability to take the hit. And
7, and he's playing with a heavy heart as well.
Yeah, he really is. He is a mature young man, and our prayers go out to him and his family.
His father, David, watching, transferred here to Missouri. And he said, his dad was not feeling very well yet. One-on-one against Sullivan. Comes up short, but there to clean it up is Torrin Jones.
That I think Louisville does not fit a number 4 seed. That's my take on it. I had them early on in the season.
Why is that a problem? That a better team ability-wise, as Rossberg throws it down, ends up as a 4, then maybe the eye test suggests they don't even make the championship game.
Yeah, in a similar situation to
Clarkson off the glass. Down was Ernest Ross, and he eventually ends up with the loose ball. Feeds Brown for the finish.
He's making, come on.
I'm not quite at the Malcolm Huckabee analyst rate yet. Ernest Ross maneuvers inside, but
loose ball and offensive rebound.
Knifing through and a nice finish on the reverse by Jordan Clarkson.
Really out of position.
Nice bank shot by Jabari Brown.
Well, Bob, we like...
Turns the corner, spins down the lane. Off the glass, no good. But the putback is there for Feldman. Still time on the clock. Kalinowski is a terrific three-point shooter. Off to Cherapovitz. He beats the buzzer. A 3 goes down at the horn for Davidson. And it's a 4-point lead for the Wildcats at halftime.
Missouri has done a poor job defending Davidson on the perimeter. You're going to take a look here, off of a miss, and then you have 5 guys sprinting back, but then nobody picks up the perimeter shooters. Now, we talked about you need to call bank from right there, but again, Davidson swings the ball around. You don't get a hand up on the shooter, and then they make you pay. And then for Missouri, it's been all about this guy right here. Jabari Brown has been impressive in transition right here. He is so strong. He can finish. And then right here is the reason why he's going to be playing for a paycheck. Reminds me of Dwayne Wade, his ability to control his...
Jabari Brown with the scoop. Shovel underneath and the throwdown. Piano Post is able to flush it. Dribble and lost it. 2-on-1, then Troney fumbled the pass from Cherapovitz. Instead, it ends up with a trailing 3 by Kalinowski. A near turnover for Davidson turns into a triple and a 13-point lead.
What you want to do if you're Davidson, and it's a concern if you're Coach Haith in Missouri.
Jabari Brown, another floater. And he is over 2 feet short of the rim. Should you have called goaltending there? Up and in, and a chance for a 3-point play for Torrin Jones. Or where is it at the discretion of the official to say
We talk to their teams about, and you look at the history. Wichita State won this thing in 2011. Last year, Baylor.
Football stadium, adding about 5,000 to 7,000 seats, luxury boxes to their upper deck. They anticipate adding more.
Coach McKillop knows his players best, and he probably has dealt with this situation.
Lead. You might exchange some points for time with him on the bench.
Absolutely. Get him to rest, see where this thing 20. Nobody shoots the ball until he gets us a touch, and I think that's what Missouri needs to do right now.
And a pair at the line for Frank Haight, who told us Jabari Brown will. Ernest Ross, a chance for a three-point play when we come back. It was an 11-point lead when Damon Brooks picked up his third foul per game. And that's the 5th highest tandem scoring pair in college basketball.
But Missouri, I think the big question mark for them is can they get any presence in the post on offense?
A pair at the line for Clarkson. Ross powers his way up and in. A chance for a three-point play as Sullivan's called for the foul.
Going through the contact right here. I'm going to go up because I'm stronger and bigger than you. Take the hit and then finish. That's just a powerful move. Soft touch at the end to finish.
Second foul on Brian Sullivan. 10-team foul. Find more information on every championship at ncaa.com, the home of all.
Davidson.
Unless you allow ball penetration, and Jabari Brown splits the defense. Straightaway three on the way. Knocking it down is Jordan Clarkson. It's a one-point game. Davidson advances in this tournament. He'll go over 1,800 points for his career. Look at him driving the baseline. Danny Feldman, the junior, lights up Mizzou Arena. Points for his career. Look at him driving the baseline. Danny Feldman, the junior, lights up Mizzou. Points for his career. Look at him driving the baseline. Danny Feldman, the junior, lights up Mizzou Arena. Pull up. No good. Offensive rebound, Williams. Plus the foul.
And now that momentum has changed. That's a grown man rebound by Jonathan Williams. Put back and finish.
And the freshman finishes off the three-point play.
Riley Stan Van Gundy was a coach down there. Eric Spoelstra was the video guy when I got down to Miami.
Jumper goes down for Ernest Ross.
It's a make or miss league. Doing a great job, not settling for jumpers, using his strength and athleticism.
Ernest Ross finds Rosberg, a chance for a three-point play.
And a nice little dump off pass for an and one situation.
And that's the 4th foul on. Hard to believe, but this is Missouri's largest lead. Jabari Brown. Yes, too much for Kalinowski to try and check one-on-one. He's just too good.
And I don't like.
Clarkson, step back jumper. Yes. And an 80% free throw shooter.
And that young man.
Damon Brooks blocked to the corner.
He has a situation right here where he can keep this ball in play. Tap it up.
55% at the line. Knocks down the first. Got them both.
He did it in 4.
So barring a miracle offense for long, what a play, flipping over the scorer's table. Ernest Ross, and he's hurt. Nope, he's right back up.
And a big guy in this second half that has really come alive with his energy and effort, and that's a huge play. You get into it, and Missouri is going to pull out a win right here. Give Davidson credit early on. They shot the ball well, but In the end, Missouri picked up the defensive intensity. And then, boy, this backcourt, Jabari Brown, one of the most impressive guards I've seen all year.
So it's an 8-point win for Frank Haith's Missouri Tigers. And they will 30. Coming up, even more NIT hoops. Our next stop, Moraga. It's Utah taking on St. Mary's. So long from Columbia.
Two teams that have set their GPS for New York City will try to advance in the second round of the NIT this afternoon. Missouri hosting Southern Miss from Conference USA. For Davidson, while Southern Miss got a victory at home at
former is big and strong. He led the SEC in scoring this year. Jordan Clarkson, the point guard, can do it all. 6'5", great shooter and playmaker. And Ernest Ross, the transfer from Auburn, he knows a lot about the SEC. Physical.
Interstate batteries. We mentioned those perimeter guys. A key today, what will they get near the rim? Jonathan Williams, the third, is an excellent rebounder. And Keanu Poston, another young player, JUCO transfer. All right, for Southern Mississippi, they've used 9 different starting lineups this year, but it starts with Neil Watson, a first-team all-con. And it bears repeating, this Missouri team does not lose at home often. They only lost twice this year.
Primary defense, they won't change a lot. And if Missouri can make outside shots like Ernest Ross just did, 2-1 full court zone press, back to the matchup. And that time, Mizzou didn't just beat the press, they attacked it. And that's what you want to do.
Finals last year in the NIT, and he understands how important a run would be in this.
1 seed in the NIT and hosted their first 3 NIT games. Just performance defensively by the Golden Eagles.
Clarkson catches the 3 in the corner. Just 28% this year from
Tyndall sat him down, did not start him today.
And a 3. It's what we expected. Missouri defending its home court. They do that very well. Well, Southern Miss will not back down from a scrap. Uncalled for the foul. Keanu Post, a junior college transfer, highly regarded second. That time Rod, but Post saves the possession. Steal by Watson. Assist to Watson. Craig with the finish. Than he had against Davidson in their first round win.
Yeah, definitely have depth issues at Missouri, as you mentioned, Mitch.
Clarkson, teardrop, nice drive, and Clarkson's got freshman base.
Yes, he does. Shane Rector also, who was a highly recruited player out of the Bronx, New York, hasn't gotten to play as much because he likes Wes Clark, the other freshman point guard, to the line almost 650 times, which is just unbelievable.
And in league play, Joe, they hit 76%.
Well, normally, if you get
a couple of misses now at the line by guys who normally make. Brown's really good at the line. He was 85% in SEC.
62 times, and I don't know 100%, but I think that's probably best in the SEC.
Again, find information on every championship at ncaa.com, the official online. And Jabari Brown able to rescue the possession for Mizzou. Clarkson, though, is a big score. So is Ross. Mizzou needed the 3. At the buzzer, Missouri needed it.
Side for Ernest Ross, and he played a little Stormzy in the Mizzou Arena in Columbia. M.O. Here it is again, the inside out. Ross knocks it down to give Missouri some momentum to halftime.
But a big challenge for Missouri. Against the zone, but Southern Miss took advantage of their opportunity.
Well, they really did. They had 12 points in the paint in the first half on nice transition plays and knocked down a couple of big threes. Gerald Brooks right there, and then the senior from Kansas City, Neil Watson, knocked down a big 3 for Mizzou. For Southern Miss, and then for Mizzou at the end of the half, down by 8. Jordan Clarkson, nice penetration, and the kick out. Ernest Ross knocked down the buzzer beater to cut the lead to 5 points.
Watson
9 points, all on threes. He played at some against Kansas State when he had 16. And starts the half with 5 straight points. He's 5'11".
Much inside at all, especially against this tight zone defense.
There's a place to go.
There we go. Just as we say it, right into the heart of the...
Pittsburgh held him to 59 points. Ross, boom.
Ernest Ross was the leading...
But it's like these guys play 2 inches taller than they are. Williams with a big answer.
Non-conference opponent came into this building and beat Missouri. It was Sam Houston State, 2005, coached by Bob Marlin, a Mississippi State graduate who right now is the
free throws. Ross 77% at the line for the year. Ross. Ernest Ross, a big second half. 8 points in 5.5 minutes for Mizzou.
Basketball game, push it down the floor, jump up, and play a little string music, Ernest Ross.
For the Tigers.
Well, 4 out of 6, as you mentioned, Mitch. And again, Jordan Clarkson, a good job of getting inside the zone and kicking it outside. And great ball reversal again by Clarkson. Ross is about 6'5" and can rise up and knock down threes. He's made.
Was able to get him. They still have high hopes for Shane Rector. This year hasn't gone as well as they'd like.
Well, he's going to be a good player. He was behind, came in with Wes Clark, who's been suspended and is not.
Trailing Brown, 3. First, second half points for the SEC. And Southern Miss answers 3 for 3. Gerald Brooks has hit. Clarkson, Mizzou's got to get him going. And they do, and an and one opportunity. Clarkson's first basket of the second half.
Yeah, a little hesitation right here. Stop, and then the little blow by, and you won't see Southern Miss give up many plays like this in transition. You see the gray shirts scrambling back and just not getting set in their zone. Clarkson smartly recognized that, got all the way into the lane, and he, at 6'5", got it up and into the basket.
He had 31 earlier this year, did Clarkson, and some of the... Ross clears it out.
And Ernest Ross, watch the strength. Just great strength attacking. Southern Miss slow getting back the last 2 possessions, and that's why Donnie Tyndall called that timeout. Great upper body strength by the senior, Ernest Ross.
Joe, I want to ask you here, there's an ancient postulate in basketball. Giant 3.
Wow.
Watson set him up again, and then Aaron
about it.
And he hits a 3 in transition. Neil Watson.
Big front end to 1-and-1. Talked a lot about Southern. The head coach at Jones County Junior College. The Eagles haven't been cutting off those drives like they were earlier in the game.
He had 30 against Georgia when he was an Auburn Tiger. In August of 2014, go to getsecnetwork.com and demand the network from your...
First college football game on the network will be Texas A&M and...
Rosberg had a big rebounding game at Georgia. He had 12, including 4 on the offensive end in Athens.
Down on that miss there and contested Boardingham.
And sets a screen for Clarkson.
Look at this. What a great call at the timeout. What a great call by Donnie Tyndall at the timeout. What I call the home.
Proud of his alma mater. Rosberg's given good minutes of late. Those teams, Joe, I've seen all year. Just raw toughness. Because Missouri hit him in the mouth several times with comeback attempts. And what it's going to do, victory for the Golden Eagles from Hattiesburg in Conference USA. They tied with 3 other teams from the Conference USA Championship. But Donnie Tyndall's team with a 31 RPI was left out on Selection Sunday. But they are making the most of the NIT. Last year they got to the quarterfinals and lost to BYU. They're back in the quarterfinals again. This time they will go to Minnesota to take on the Gophers. Here are the brackets. Move the Go Arena. The first team to do that in 9
years, and only the 7th time Mizzou has lost at home in the last 6+ seasons. Donnie Tyndall's team, led by tough Neil Watson, gets it done. They advance in the NIT. Matt and Corey, this is a tough Southern Miss team.
All right, the Tigers fall to Southern Miss, ending the season in the second round of the NIT. Coach, your thoughts on today's game?
Well, give a lot of credit to Southern Miss. They played great. They got got senior laden team, know how to win, and we didn't shoot the ball particularly well. Our execution wasn't great. I thought our effort was okay and it was good. And going into this tournament, with the disappointment not making the NCAA tournament, I was really proud of how our guys attacked this tournament. But we ran into a team that played better than us today, and they really, we knew going into the game they were great on the glass, offensive rebounding, and that was the difference in the game. I thought they got a lot of second shots, played, and that's what they do. But this team, that team's won 29 games. They're a good ball club.
Always emotional when the season comes to an end. This is a team, your team, that just kept battling all the way through the season. We talked about that a lot. As you walk away from this year, what do you want your guys' main takeaway to be?
Well, we had to continue to adjust. Obviously not having West today really hurt our team. I thought ball handling with a team that pressed us, but I thought our guys competed regardless of the situation and the circumstances. And we're all disappointed not making the NCAA tournament. We wanted to make the NCAA tournament, but I'm proud of how these guys competed. Sometimes things don't quite work out the way you want it to work out, and I thought our guys handled themselves coming to this tournament with the right attitude. A lot of teams don't when you don't make the NCAA tournament. So I'm proud of how these guys really embraced the opportunity to be in the NIT. I want to say thank you to Ernest Ross, as a senior that played his last game here at Mizzou, and his first kid we signed, and I'm proud of him and wish him well as he continued with his career and what he decides to do. This season, obviously there were some ups and downs, but all in all, I'm really proud of the young men that are here with us now that fought through the season.
Coach, thank you for your time now and all throughout the year.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
Hey, Coach Frank.
On such short notice, appreciate that. I know folks had a lot of things going on as usual, but we appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. As Chad had said, and we're just on a limited time frame, so I want to try to make sure I offer as much opportunity as I can to answer any questions that you may have. But I wanted to at least walk you through a little bit from a time frame standpoint, some of the things that have taken place over the last 24 hours. And yesterday morning, I received a call from Coach Haith, who indicated to me he was interested in talking to the University of Tulsa about their job. And when that takes place, coaches need to ask permission for them to be able to talk to another school. And so we granted that to Coach Haith yesterday, give him the opportunity to talk with those folks. And he and I communicated throughout the day a little bit, just talking back and forth. And then finally this morning, he indicated to me via text message that he was going to be leaving Mizzou to go to the University of Tulsa. So what happened then, what takes place is we reached out to our players, and we reached out to our staff, and we reached out to our support staff. So at 9 o'clock this morning, I met with our coaching staff and talked with them about what had taken place and information that I had learned, and talked with them about some of the expectations we have for them going forward. I was pleased that Coach Fuller was very supportive of being the lead person, the interim head coach, as we go through this transition, and I appreciate everything he's done and continues to do for Mizzou, and as well as Brian Tibaldi and Toby Lane and some of the other folks too. And then I met with our support staff, spend some time with them, and that would be our administrative assistants and our trainer and our academic advisors and strength coaches and folks like that, and spend a little time with them and talk to them about process. And then finally, I just got done meeting with our team. So I met with our team just a little while ago. I certainly would want to visit with you all, no offense, before I had a chance to meet with our students. And in meeting with our students, what I want to make sure that I talk with them about is how proud we are of them, first of all. Secondly, how it's so critically important that we all focus on our academics and our classwork. We have 3 more weeks left in this semester, so it's important that we really finish strong. It's important that we continue to represent Mizzou in an outstanding way, on the court and off the court, and it's important that we continue to train at a high level. And from there, they also were aware that, Coach Fuller and others would be, guiding them as they went forward. I told them at that time as well, too, that I would be meeting with you all, too. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of walked you through what took place this morning. So, as we look at that now, we certainly are appreciative, very much so, of Frank and the job he did for Mizzou. We thank him. We appreciate him. We appreciate Pam. We appreciate Corey and Brianna. And we wish them nothing but the best at the University of Tulsa. And for us, our charge now is to go forward and identify the next head basketball coach at Mizzou. Now, we don't have a time frame on that, so we don't know how long that's going to take, and we're not going to limit us to a time frame on that. We're going to take our time throughout that search process.
With Mizzou Athletic Director Mike Alden, of course, the big news, Frank Haith has left Mizzou to become the new head basketball coach at Tulsa. And Mike, this is something that came really out of left field to a lot of our fans. Were you taken by surprise? Did you have any indication this was coming?
Ben, in this business, there's always something new each day. And when Coach Haith reached out to me yesterday, said that he was interested in taking a look at the University of Tulsa. For me, I just wanted to respond to that professionally, and which I did, I believe, and said, sure, we'll give you permission to go ahead and talk with those folks. And so for us, it's something that we're dealing with right now. I think for him, we wish him the best of luck, and now our charge is to go out and identify the next head basketball coach, and we're looking forward to doing that.
As you look at candidates to be the next head coach at Mizzou, what are your must-haves, things that a candidate has to have to take over this program?
Well, for sure, they have to have values that reflect who we are at Mizzou, a focus on academics, what we're trying to do as far as developing young men, making sure that we're developing in a team environment, discipline, all those different types of things, and they've got to be able to win. Certainly, we like to win, we do win, and we want to win at an even higher level.
And, of course, Coach Haith wraps up 3 years here. I know you had, when you spoke to the media, on glowing things to say. He really did do a good job here in his 3 years, didn't he?
He did. We're very appreciative of Frank and Pam and Brianna and Corey and their family and everything that they did here for us at Mizzou. They worked very hard, and they made a lot of contributions, and we wish them nothing but the best at Tulsa.
Mike, we appreciate your time. Good luck in what I'm sure you hope is a speedy search for the next head coach.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
That's Mizzou Athletic Director Mike Alden.